What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
We're back here on The Great Debaters, and man, today we're digging into some of Amir's favorite material. Check it out, y'all. Alright, Amir, so it's well documented for people that follow you on Instagram, or anywhere else for that matter, that Ice Cube's Death Certificate is your favorite album of all time. So, that being said, we're going to do a little look at this album in particular and pick our favorite song or our best song. So I think let's go with the best song on Death Certificate. So, being that this is your favorite album, I know you like all the songs. So hopefully this will prove to be a fruitful exercise. So Amir, what are like 2 or 3 songs that immediately come to your mind when you think of Ice Cube Death Certificate?
Okay, so I'm going to correct you. It's not my favorite album, it's the best album ever made. So it's my favorite, but it's the best album ever made. That'll be another video.
Yes, we'll do that at another time.
The 3 songs that stick out to me that I would pick as my top 3 would be A Bird in the Hand.
Okay.
Us.
Okay.
This is so hard. Okay. No Vaseline or Alive on Arrival.
Okay.
We're going to go Alive on Arrival.
Okay, so let's start with Alive on Arrival.
Yes.
This song, like all the songs on this album, is brilliant, and I think it really did a great job examining what was going on in the medical system in Killer King Hospital, as it was known back in the day, and then the story that Cube told on it unfortunately mirrored a lot of what was really happening in the world at the time at that particular hospital in South Central Los Angeles. So for you, Amir, what makes the song so potent?
It just starts off in action. Someone gets shot, goes to the hospital, handcuffed to the bed, no respect. He's someone who's in critical care, who needs critical attention, yet he's in a waiting room for how long before he gets to a bed?
Hours.
And when he's in the bed, mind you, and he was watching full episodes of MASH. How long was that show? Okay, yeah. Maybe some people don't know what that show is. Okay. And then on top of that, as he stated, he's being interrogated, asked, what questions about gang affiliation. He's like, I just need help. Right. And he's been in this process for so long, and all he got was a Band-Aid and an IV. And to no surprise, the song concludes with him dying, a flat line. And the attention to detail on production, as well as his just storytelling capabilities, it has to be one of the premier songs on the album. And just, dude,
okay,
come on, man.
And then
the accuracy.
Yeah. And then Us is another one that you mentioned. So on this song, a lot of the album, Death Certificate, is a condemnation and damnation on what's going on through the white power structure, through America's capitalist system and white supremacy. Whereas with Us, turns the focus to the black community and what the black community is delivering, the self-inflicted wounds, and what Ice Cube thought of that and thinks of it. So for you, what makes this song resonate for you as one of the best songs on Death Certificate?
I think you summed it up quite excellent. The whole album, we're being told, what's wrong with, the system against, the blacks and certain things that they face that other ethnicities and races don't face. Whereas on this song, he points the finger at, himself and his community, and he's saying, like, we care about hairstyles and tennis shoes more than we care about, our welfare and our good being. And even in that sense, we're still eating, pork and chitlins and all these bad things. We don't take care of our families, our neighborhoods, or even our health for that matter. And it's quite absent in a lot of people who just blame everyone else. This is the one time, not the one time, but one of the few times where I hear an artist really blaming their own community for the things that they may fall short on. So I think Ice Cube, to conclude such a brilliant album, shows such a smart way to conclude it before we get to the infamous diss song, which right. I like to call the bonus track to the album.
It's an addendum almost.
Exactly.
Yes, and then the other one is Alive on Arrival, Bird in the Hand, that you also mentioned. So this song is phenomenal on so many levels. But for you, juxtaposed against us and Alive on Arrival, what makes Bird in the Hand so incredible to you?
It's it's the story of someone who tries to fly straight. He tries to go the correct way, but with everything going against him, he has to end up selling drugs. A bird in the hand. Drugs, cocaine, whatever is an easier method than to wait for Bush for help.
Right.
And he had a good report card. He had good skills, but he can only land a job at McDonald's. But his kid is starving, so he needs to find a better way to make money.
Don't take no for an answer.
Exactly. And I've also heard other artists rap on this instrumental, and I think Ice Cube is the only one who just knocked it out of the park. It's not an instrumental that I think is like super strong or catches my ear right when I hear it, but I think the way Ice Cube just delivered on it phenomenal. Because Big L is freestyle over, Mob Style is rapped on the same sample, and nothing even comes close to how Ice Cube closed this one out. And just a song
there's a difference.
2 minutes and some odd change, he provides such an incredible look at what a lot of people go through, and maybe choice is not maybe they don't have as much as a choice as you think they do type thing.
Right. Now those are some of Amir's favorites, which are also among my favorites, because there's only a few songs that I don't think are in the super upper echelon of this album, because it's basically, I'd say, 18 to 20 songs. 18 of the 20 are phenomenal, and then the other 1 or 2 I think are way above average, but not my favorite. That being said, 2 of the 3 that you mentioned, and even with No Vaseline, are 4 of my favorite songs on the album, and then the other 2 that I would like to add into the discussion that I thought were phenomenal were Colorblind, because that I love, like you do with Us, how the examination looks and gives us a different side of the story, or another side of the story I should say. And then with Colorblind, they kind of do a similar thing with gangbanging, specifically the gangbanging in Los Angeles, and I thought that was very powerful. And then just that is the song that features guests on it on the album, which I thought I do prefer it in generally speaking when artists hold their own, and obviously in this era artists were more prone to do that and did that on a regular basis. So I always liked the one song because I knew that for whatever reason there was something distinctive about the song that was going to make it stand out. And I think every artist on that record just was phenomenal, including and maybe especially King T. I thought his verse was phenomenal on there. So that's one of my other favorites. And then the other one I want to bring in is My Summer Vacation, because this song, man, I remember when I heard this song, it reminded me not of what was going on in Maryland, where I'm from, where I grew up, but just the sense of how what I was reading in newspapers and seeing on television and clearly in movies and stuff, that people that were outside of where the ground zero of what was happening in Los Angeles and other cities, how it was spreading out across the country. And I saw that with some people I knew that were doing things that maybe was a little bit over their head in the streets from where I was from, and how they were dealing with much bigger players in either Baltimore or Washington. And I was like, oh, this song is kind of explaining the reverse of that in a way. And I just thought that My Summer Vacation was so phenomenal to show the spread of drugs, to show the spread of gangs, to show the spread of violence, to show the spread of misery, and then to show how once you're in it, it's too late. You know, once you're in it to that degree, largely it's too late. And I just thought that's one of Ice Cube's best songs ever. And there's so many of the songs on this album are among his best songs ever. So we've now got 5 songs. So Amir, as we get here on The Great Debaters, what do you have to say on Colorblind and My Summer Vacation?
I'm so happy, especially when as you mentioned, this is the only song with features. Whenever I heard that J. Cole nonsense, no featured albums. I always think of this one, and he basically did the whole thing. But just the posse cut, dude. King T, Threat, everyone, Big Fred wears red, Baby Blue wears blue. How every artist sticks to the actual concept and the nature of the song is just something that I feel like is kind of missed, especially in these days. You can tell that they were in the studio with one another, crafting those verses, chatting in each other's ears of what to say as well. My Summer Vacation, as you mentioned, is just like, dude, people dying for a street that they never heard of. And it's like you get so deep in this, what are you even doing it for kind of thing as well. I mean, you're doing it for, but the people in Missouri and other cities and states, as you mentioned, I just think is such an excellent story. And where does he end up at the end of the song? He goes to jail in his drawers, right? Dude.
So that being said, Amir, here on The Great Debaters, we have to name names. So what is the best song on Ice Cube? Death Certificate.
A Bird in the Hand.
Okay. And for me, I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to say that it's My Summer Vacation. I think the album is so cinematic. A Bird in the Hand tells a similar story of someone trying to do something different, and obviously that character theoretically is a lot more innocent per se by the quote-unquote American standard or by the law. But I think they're both faced, obviously, with, in their mind, what end up being insurmountable odds, and they succumb in different ways.
True.
That being said, I prefer My Summer Vacation because I think it gave a broader sense of what was happening and how it was impacting people elsewhere, whereas I think that A Bird in the Hand showed a story that was happening everywhere, but it was very specific to the theme that Ice Cube was executing brilliantly on Death Certificate. So that's my take. That's Amir's take. You guys hit us up in the comments section. Let us know what you think is the best song on Ice Cube's Death Certificate, and we look forward to discussing and debating it with y'all. Make sure you hit us up. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
And we'll check y'all out next time on The Great Debaters.